India and Japan reaffirming commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific after meeting between their top security officials or defense officials in New Delhi. Japanese Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi and his Indian counterpart Rajnath Singh welcoming strengthened military cooperation, while expressing strong opposition to any unilateral action to change the status quo.
हमारी मेरीटाइम लाइन में लाइफ लाइन्स बढ़ती हुई वल्नरेबिलिटीज का सामना कर रही हैं। फ्रीडम ऑफ नेविगेशन, ओवरफ्लाइट और अनहिंडर्ड लॉफुल कॉमर्स को सुनिश्चित करना सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक नेसेसिटी नहीं है, बल्कि यह एक स्ट्रेटेजिक इम्पेरेटिव भी है।
現在、インド太平洋地域の安全保障環境は急速に複雑化し、不確実性が高まっています。両首脳のリーダーシップの下、新大臣と共に日印の防衛関係をあるべき姿に迅速に引き上げたいと考えています。本日はそのために何が必要か、共に何に取り組んでいくのか、具体的に議論をしたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。ありがとうございました。
And Ishan Garg joins us live from New Delhi. Ishan, India's defense minister there saying freedom of navigation and not just an economic necessity, but, I quote him, a strategic imperative.
Well, absolutely. This is one of the bigger points that Indian Defence Minister and the Japanese Defence Minister has made, and they kind of echo similar sentiments that were made public by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi when she visited New Delhi a few months ago. And the idea of a free and Indo-Pacific, that was very much central to India-Japan dialogues when the Prime Ministers met, and it's once again very central to the dialogue when the Defence Ministers are meeting. And now, analysts in New Delhi are saying that a partnership with Japan, India sees it not only as being limited to the field of defense, but it's a partnership that is going to go well beyond and has rather gone well beyond in the past few decades. Even after the end of this session, we are seeing a joint communique released by the two countries, which talks about a more structured 2+2 ministerial dialogues, which is going to include defense ministers as well as the foreign ministers of the two countries. That will happen in the next few months. Now, from a defense perspective, of course, that's what the talks focused on, and their analysts say this is certainly what they call a high trust relationship. Japan has been ready to share technology of key weapons with India in the past few decades, and that's something India has been utilizing to not only get good weapons grade technology but also indigenize a lot of its defense production. We saw during the talks India saying that they would want to partner a lot more closely with Japanese companies in the defense sector, but also in the shipbuilding sector as well. There's also the idea of India and Japan making sure that militaries work together as part of several military drills. They will be bilateral on a level, but also as part of the larger Quad initiative, which India, Japan, Australia and US are part of.
Ishan, of course, you mentioned Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's visit to India last month. Of course, this visit now by the defense minister, each visit with agreements from each, building one upon the other. What other key outcomes did we see from today's meeting?
Well, the key outcome is certainly the defense pact that's been signed between India and Japan, and there are multiple heads under it that are going to be important in terms of the relationship between the two countries. The first one is, of course, enhancing operational maritime security cooperation and protecting vital sea lines of communication. This is something Indian and the Japanese Navy are going to do together. There's also a framework to strengthen ties between the Indian Navy and the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, and they are going to be working together under three key domains, which is, first of all, is going to be maritime domain awareness. They're also going to work together to respond to crises at sea, which could include humanitarian crises, but also aid and rescue efforts at sea together as well. But the more important part, which India and Japan both highlighted during the talks and said this is going to be a key part of their cooperation, is going to keep a free and Indo-Pacific free from any issues with troubles in navigation or also overflight navigation of the seas as well. And while the two countries haven't named another country, analysts in New Delhi say whenever the idea of free and open Pacific, Indo-Pacific comes up, the finger is usually pointed towards China.
Thanks. Ishan Garg there for CNN in New Delhi.